Hey, what's up, guys? How y'all doing this evening? Hopefully, everybody's good. I just wanted to hop on here and talk to you guys for a minute about habits. You know, when you hear the word habit, you automatically typically think of a bad habit. What are they doing wrong? What do they keep doing over and over again? But there actually are good habits you can form as well. Matter of fact, in order to break the bad ones, you usually have to replace them with good ones. Because the bad ones just don't stop. Automatically they're going to have to be replaced with something. So there was a guy that used to smoke cigarettes on his lunch break, and during his breaks at work, I think he got two 15-minute breaks and a 30-minute lunch, if I ain't mistaken. And he would smoke cigarettes each break and each lunch. Well, he had to have something to replace that. He'd go outside and see everybody else smoking, and he wanted to quit, but he just couldn't do it. So he ended up getting a little tiny Bible and sticking it in his pocket, and instead of smoking, he would read. And for the first couple of days, it really didn't work that well. He just kind of was like, this is not going to work. But as time went on, he actually got a breakthrough from all that. And he just replaced, something. He said he was free from cigarettes. I thought that was kind of amazing. Because a lot of people pay thousands of dollars to be able to break free from something, And just one replacement can do it, in a sense, you know what I mean? If you're going to eat right or whatever, if you're not eating right now and you want to eat right, it doesn't take a rocket scientist. You don't have to really go to like a 4-hour nutrition class on every Saturday or really go to college. College is great. Like I say, overall, learning's fun, learning's good for you. But common sense goes a long way. You know what I mean? Yeah, I like to call that wisdom. And I've not always had that. I feel like I have a little bit more now than I used to. Thank God, that's from making terrible mistakes, over and over again. I finally got something valuable out of that and learned a lot, I feel like, anyway. But yeah, habits, they'll take you further than a routine. So your routine, you might say, well, as long as I'm on my routine, everything's going to be good. Well, a habit is even better than a routine because the habit actually is part of the routine, And, you hear a lot about discipline. And the purpose of discipline is to give birth to a habit. It's to create a habit. If you think about it, so you hear people saying, you got to be disciplined, you got to have willpower to be determined. Well, yeah, that's true, but, what are you trying to do that for? You're trying to birth a habit, and once you get a habit, it becomes second nature, you know what I mean? Your action becomes a habit. Your habits end up becoming your character. Your integrity. The way your value system ends up being defined because of your habits. So your habits, I would say, I use the word prerequisite quite often. Your habits are a prerequisite to character. And of course, character is going to lead you to your destination in life. Whether it's jail, prison, rehab, CEO of a company, janitor, McDonald's, working at Burger King, working at a factory. It's all going to be based on your character, which came from a habit. And if you backtrack a little bit, a habit comes from action steps. Something we just decided to do one time, that's became a stronghold in our life. Action, before you get to action, was a decision. So you decided to take the action first before you even started the habit, And then before that is feeling. So you felt a certain way before you even decided to do something sketchy or do something good or bad, And the next step would be your thinking, your thought life. What did you think before you felt that caused you to feel a certain way that made you decide to do something that now you're in the action step that you wanted to do once and you ended up doing over and over now. And then it's going to affect your character, what kind of person you are, which will impact your destination in life, I feel like that can be kind of helpful if you kind of understand what I'm saying with that. So if we need to change some things, we can change our mindset is the most important. Just forgive who you need to forgive. Don't hold any kind of resentments or grudges like that. Not healthy for you, But good habits, what are good habits we can form? Going to church, reading the Bible, exercise, communication with others, just any kind of positive thing you can think of would be good for a habit. God talks about like focusing on the positive or like the godly things above. Anything that's acceptable by God is going to be good, and a lot of things aren't necessarily recommended, but they're approved by God. They're not really recommended, but they're permissible, I guess you'd say. So a lot of times it's not even God's best, but He'll allow us to go ahead and settle for that if we want to. You know what I mean? Also, you don't give keys to. You don't give a child the keys to a Rolls Royce. You know what I mean? Like, I love my daughter so much. She's 8 years old. I love her. I love her more than anything. But if she came up to me and said, "Dad, can I have this key to your car? I need to go down the road real quick." I'm going to probably say, "No, baby, I don't think that's a good idea." You know what I mean? So, that's the same way with God, We're asking Him for the Rolls Royce when we're just a baby sometimes, So we have to be patient sometimes on on what's going on in life, and try to really be honest with ourselves. And also, as far as like, quit comparing yourself to somebody else, because they're not you, and you're not them, and you actually, to make you feel better, you actually were the fastest sperm that day anyway, or that night, whenever your mom and dad did whatever they did, you were the fastest sperm to come forth, because if not, you wouldn't be here. You beat them. You beat him in there, the other one. So I know it's kind of funny, but it's true though, But yeah, guys, just work on forming new habits to replace the bad ones. Hope you guys got something out of this. Also, a reminder for you guys, on May 19th, we're giving away $30 value of either cash or items from Walmart. The 19th for Memorial Day. You just have to like and share the post that I posted on my Facebook a couple days ago, and you'll be entered to that drawing. Also, if you guys want to share, I have like a little link on my page called Debbie. I need one more referral. If somebody would share that link, or somebody would click on the link and fill it out and sign up for Debbie, I'll send you $10 through Cash App immediately, because it's gonna cost me the bonus like that for just one person. So I would really appreciate it if you guys could do that. But thank you guys so much for listening. Y'all have a great day.